23rd day of the month of Elul, and we are on Daf Lamud Amud Beis of Maseches Pesachim. The Gemara had just concluded 3 lines from the top of the Amud, Tiyufta de Rav Bar Eloi Tiyufta, a refutation against Rav Bar Eloi, who had told us that a oven that was caked with grease, with fleishik fat on the in the making of that oven, you'd have to render that oven to be fleishik for all time. And the Gemara had proven that to be incorrect because the implication of the brisa that tells us until you fire up the oven, that if you would fire up the oven, then it would be mutter, meaning you would burn off that grease. And 4 lines from the top of the Amud says the Gemara, Amar le Ravina Ravashi. Ravina says to Ravashi, V'chima achar de itaisav Rav Bar Eloi, since we have refuted the opinion of Rav Bar Eloi, Amai kama Rav, then why is it that Rav, many generations earlier, had said Kederis for Pesach Yishabru, that you have to break the Kederis on Pesach, meaning all that you would need to do would be to heat them up, and then l'chara you would be able to get rid of all of the chametz that's inside of it. Meaning you could re-fire them, and then it would be like they were new. You would get rid of all the chametz. Amalei, so Rav Ashi says back to Ravina, no. Hasam tanu shel matechas hacha b'keder shel chares. There we're talking about a metal oven, and here we are talking about pots that are made out of earthenware. And there's a very different situation in halacha with regards to metal. Metal, we assume that if you fired it up, you would be able to recast it, meaning it would let go of all of the flavor. But with a gedera that's made out of charas, that would not be the case. Well, alternatively, you could make the argument haba shel charas, that we are talking about an oven that is made out of clay as well, and pots that are made out of clay. And the difference is that the oven you heat up from the inside, meaning any flavors that are on the inside, the fire that's on the inside is going to draw it out and destroy all of it. With regards to the pot, you don't make a fire on the inside, the fire's on the outside, which means that the flavor that's on the inside is never going to be destroyed. Says the Gemara, maybe you want to say hachanami, so put a fire on the inside of your earthenware pots, and then you can catch all of your earthenware. Says the Gemara, no, nobody's going to do that. Meaning, nobody's going to do it because he's going to be worried that they're going to break. If you make a fire on the inside of your earthenware pot, you're worried that it's going to break, so you're not going to do it properly. And since you're not going to do it properly, it's not ever going to become hot enough. Rashi says, "V'i sharisle al yedei hesek panim." Meaning, once you have told people that you can kasher it by making a fire on the inside, people are going to say, I'll make a fire on the outside, because making a fire on the inside is liable to break it. Says the Gemara Hilkach, therefore, hi buchya, with regards to a buchya, which is a pan, right? There seems to be some kind of flat pan. Rashi says, something that you would fry, bake or fry a loaf in it. If you fired it up from the outside, that is normatively heated from the outside, and therefore it's aser. But if you filled it with coals on top, that would work. That the should work, meaning it's a flat pan. So you have a flat disc, usually you have a fire underneath it. But if it became chametz stick with something on top, so flip it over, right? Or fill it up with coals, that should work. Amarle Ravina Ravashi, Ravina says to Ravashi, Hani Sekini de Pischa. Well, what do you do with knives on Pesach? This is now a shaila. What do you do with knives on Pesach? What are you going to do with it? Amarle says to him, "Ledidi chadta ka avdina." What do? I make new knives. Meaning, I have Pesach knives. Amarle, he says to him, "Teinach mar." That's good for you. You can do that. One must remember that Rav Ashi was the Gadol Adar and enormously well politically connected. as well as being exceedingly wealthy. The Gemara says that from Rabbi Yehuda Nasi until Rav Ashi, there was nobody that had all three. There was a huge Talmud Chacham, was politically connected and very wealthy. So Ravina says to Rav Ashi, it's good for you. You can afford to get yourself new knives. You can do this. Yeah. What about the stuff? What about the guys that can't do that? So Amarle says to him, no, I don't get new knives. Don't be ridiculous. What I mean is I make them like new. What do I mean? I make them like new. Katayu Batina, and then he gives him an eitzah. What I do is I cover them. I cover them in mud. Rashi says what do I cover in mud? It says like Hagen Alehem Shloi Yisarfim Haor. Meaning I cover the handles in mud. I kick the handles in mud. Uparzalahu benura, and then I put them into the fire. Right? I put them back in the fire. V'hadar lana lekatayu beroidchin, and then I put the handles in boiling hot water. Meaning, I kasha the handles separately by putting them in boiling hot water. I do second, and the knife itself, I put it back into a burning fire. V'hilchasa, and the halacha is that you don't need to put it in the fire. What you need is you need to put both of them in boiling water. Meaning, you don't need to put it back into a fire because, as we'll see in a moment, the way that things absorb is the way that they release that flavor. Amar Rav Huna Bereda Rav Yeshua. Says Rav Huna the son of Rav Yeshua, 8 parah. 8 parah is a wooden ladle. Magilai bereischim. You do hagala. You boil it out, bereischim, with boiling water, with kli rishon, and in the kli rishon, meaning the kli that is sitting on the fire, or that was sitting on the fire. It's bubbling, it's boiling, and you stick your wooden kli into that. Kasavar, because he reasons. The way that it absorbs is the way that it is going to expel flavor. Bamine, they asked him, me Amemar from Amemar, Hani mani de konya, with regards to these things that are called konya. What exactly is konya? Rashi says, Shel cheresu v'tuach be'ever. It's some kind of glaze. Rashi says it's interesting. If this is what we would refer to it as today, Rashi says it's called a polymer, right? So some kind of, meaning it's a kli cheres that is caked in some kind of glazing. What are you going to do with glazed earthenware on Pesach? Says the Gemara, don't ask about Yeroka. Yeroka in the days of the Chachamim means yellow ones, not green. Yeah, Yorok means yellow. Green is Yerka Karsi, but Yeroka Loiti Bailach with the yellow ones. Don't even ask the question. Devade Asir. That's for sure going to be aser because that is certainly made out of clay cheres, meaning the glazing is also clay cheres. Ki tibailach. What you are wondering about is uchme vechivari mai. What about the black ones and the white ones? The black ones and the white ones. Rashi says the mitzarfei tzrif, that they're made of some other kinds of material. What exactly is the din here? And when they have cracks and crevices, for sure you don't have the question. For sure, that's going to be awesome. I mean, we're talking about smooth things that are not made of earthenware, that are caking over, that are glazing over your earthenware. What's the shaila? Meaning, if they are perfectly smooth and it is not an earthenware coating, then what's the din? Amarle, so he says, Chazin lehu de mi daisi. We see that they have the ability to to release flavors, meaning they do expel flavors. You see that they do leak out flavors, that they become colored. Alma bal'i ve'asiri. It comes out that they are also, because since they do leak out colors and flavors, it means that they for sure have the ability to absorb, and therefore it says and the Torah says about kli cheres that it never releases all of the flavor ever. What about yain nesach? Where Meremar had told us mani de konya bein uchma bein chivari bein yiroi keshari, that all different kinds of glazing, when it comes to yain nesach, all of that is mutter. Maybe you want to say yain nesach derabanan, that yain nesach, we're not talking yain nesach, we're talking about stam yenam, and that would only be a din derabanan, and a chametz is deraisa. Says the Gemara, no, you can't suggest like that, because kol the tikkun rabbanan kein deraisa tikkun, that everything that the chachamim said, they patented it after the din deraisa. They wouldn't have been mekel just because they were answering on a level of derabanan. Amarle, so he says to him, Zet hashmish alidei chametz v'zet hashmish alidei tzayin. No, there's a big difference. Chametz, you use hot chametz, but with regards to stam yenam yain nesach, that is tashmish tzayin, and it is used cold. Amar Rav bar Abba, Amar Rav Chia bar Ashi. He says Rav Chia bar Ashi, and then Amar Shmuel and Shmuel. Kala kelim shenishtam shebahem chametz b'tzayin. Anytime that you have kelim that are used for chametz with cold stuff, mishtamish bahem matzah, you can use for matzah, meaning you can use your same kelim if it's so long as it's cold. Chutz min beitz sar, except for the bread box. The bread box, that would be fundamentally a problem. However, chimutze kasher, because there's lots of chametz there. Amar Rav Ashi says beis charoshes kebeis sar, the beis charoshes, the place that you store your vinegar, kebeis sar. Shichimutza kasha dami. Also, it's got a lot of chametz there, so even if it's cold, we're not going to let you use it. Amar Rava says hani agni di b'chaysa, the kneading basins that have a mechaysa, hol v'tediri lemelish behu chamira, since everybody's kneading their dough there. Umashu behu chamira, and the chametz is kept there. Those kneading bowls, we're going to say that those things are going to be also as well. Says the Gemara Pshita, that's obvious. Ma'od the tema, what would you have said? Kevin the rivcha shalit behu avra loy bali, since there's they're open air, meaning there's lots of air that they're not going to absorb anything. Kamash malan, that they absolutely do, and we would be machmir for that. To continue with the Mishnah tomorrow. Everybody should have a beautiful day.